Right, I needed a break from Cecil for a while, but in the meantime, Cecil decided to meet some YouTubers, and that was in the form of Crime Street. Now, he never met these people before, but he decided he would meet them for an interview. Now, not saying anything bad about Crime Street, but what if these were not Crime Street? There were some people that really wanted to do harm to Cecil. What Crime Street did was do an interview with Cecil, and then to lighten the mood, they decided to do some play boxing. Here's where the problem is.
You got 30 more seconds.
Get it down! Get it down! Oh, I didn't know who you were. Oh, gee, I don't know. I just heard yelling.
What's going?
Be cool.
Movements, man. Just chill.
Yeah, we were just barely sparring, man.
Yeah.
We got headgear. It was all consensual.
Did you get spotted? Is that what this is?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Look, I'm on live right here, man.
Okay.
Can I get up?
Okay.
I'm staying here.
Stay.
I got a knife on my side, just so you know.
Right now, okay.
Listen, just be cool. We'll get it fixed. Gentlemen, we will get this figured out, and we'll call it a day.
Have you been swatted before?
No, no, bud. Need my hand, fam?
Yeah. I think we're good right now. We got all of them.
You know the weapon, sir? How about you guys?
You might think that I'm going to say, well, the problem was that the Crime Street mentioned some school in Kentucky. Somebody got wind of it and squatted them. Well, yes, that is a problem. But the bigger problem is actually with Cecil, and I hope that in some way he actually gets to see this video and hear what I've got to say here. This is the point where Cecil breached his own security and put himself in a very vulnerable position.
You got 30 more seconds.
Get it down!
Now, Cecil, do you see where the problem is? The problem is you decided to do some boxing with strange people that you met on the internet. And you're an armed person. And why is that a problem? Well, Cecil, when you have boxing gloves on, have you tried smoking a cigarette with boxing gloves on? You're not even going to get to light the cigarette because your fingers and hands are restricted. And what is on your belt? It's a gun. If Crime Street was somebody else, right? Two other people, and there's loads of people that hate Cecil on the internet and want harm done to him. Now, what you could do is you could befriend Cecil on the internet, arrange to have a meeting in a very quiet place, know for a fact that he's got a gun, and bring some boxing gloves so you could have an interview, and then to lighten up the mood, have a little bit of a boxing match. At this point, when he puts the boxing gloves on, there's your chance you can disarm him and possibly harm him. This is what, you know, this is why I'm saying Cecil is very, very clumsy when it comes to his own security. Why would you wear a gun with some boxing gloves on, sparring around with strangers? This could have been very, very bad, especially with the amount of people that don't like Cecil on the internet. Cecil says in a previous video that when the gun goes into the holster, it's locked in there, it's very, very difficult for somebody to take the gun from him. But I actually seen the holster in a previous video. I think he was on holidays, he was camping or whatever. I've got the same holster. And there's just a strap across the top to hold the gun in. It's very easy to take the gun out. So I don't know where he's going with that one. You know, so, I mean, like, especially with a pair of fucking boxing gloves on. I don't know what this guy was thinking. Actually, he doesn't think. When I seen this go down for the first time, the first thing that came into my mind is Cecil is on his own and he feels protected because he's got a gun. And then he puts boxing gloves on. And I'm thinking, what are you doing? You're supposed to be protecting yourself. You're now put yourself in a vulnerable position. You might as well have put your hands out. Please tie my hands up. Because that's basically what you've done. Those boxing gloves aren't going to come up very easy. Now, I'm not saying this, you know, I'm not saying Crime Street had ill intent. They wanted to lighten the mood. But if Crime Street was somebody else that really wanted to harm Cecil, Cecil has put himself in danger. And that gun that he had could have went into the hands of somebody really bad. It's kind of strange that Cecil has this obsession of self-security, and he believes he's been followed. He believes that people are arriving at his house and shit like that, and he's wearing 2 guns in the house. He's got all these cameras and stuff. And then he goes and he does this. I'm thinking, this doesn't make any sense at all. Right, before I go, this thing about this squatting thing. Now, Cecil was throwing accusations around after it happened and stuff. And there was a suggestion that people in London, France possibly have done it. I'm going to say straight out here that when the squatting happened, I was going, what the fuck is going on? This is not something that I'm in agreement with at all. Because what it does is it actually steers us away from our main objective and what we're trying to do here. You know, and I think this squatting actually damaged that. And when a swatting happens, swatting can lead to things going really wrong. You know, and I'm not in agreement with this at all. And if it sort of keeps happening and that, I'm going to step away because it's gone out of control at that point. You know? Our main objective is to make him accountable for the things he has done and said in his past. You know, this squatting, for what reason? It's got nothing to do with any of that. You know? So I was pretty disappointed when this happened. I was going, this has fucked things up. So, you know, thing is, Cecil has attracted a lot of people, and some of these people, as I said before, are going to stop at nothing. You know, I'm not down for this other stuff. I'm not down for this swatting and stuff like that. It's just not, you know, it's not the way I do things. You know? You know, people might argue, you know, this swatting thing, it made Cecil's life a little bit more difficult for a couple of days, and he deserves it. Yeah, I mean, like, it did cause a lot of stress and stuff. But the thing is, if shit like this keeps happening, and guess who's going to be the real victim? It's going to look like on the internet, it's going to be Cecil. Cecil, the guy that keeps getting trolled and swatted and stuff. And it just, the real objective will get lost in the sauce. If you can understand where I'm coming from here. Here's another fucking thing, and I'm sorry if I'm going to be controversial here, but I'm going to speak my mind on this. There's people, asking him to do flipping lie detector tests. What the fuck is that going to do? Cecil has been lying for 7 years. He knows it off by heart by now. So if you ask him questions, he's just going to rhyme off the lies with no body reaction. He knows it that well. It's ingrained in his fucking head. Cecil can pass a lie detector test, no problem at all. And if he failed it, he's going to claim that there was something wrong with the machine. People, you need to think. This is it's just. People are watching too many Jerry Springer or something. This is just going way off the fucking the track. It just really is. Do you know when people take polygraph tests, that's not just the evidence, it's added to other crucial evidence, which is the thing that we're interested in. The polygraph test, I just, no. It doesn't make any sense to me. And it's just, to me, it's just steering things in a different direction. And I don't know if people want to go down that direction, go down that. But I'm starting to lose the will of this fight because of some of the bullshit that's going on. Do you know? I mean, like I want justice just like anybody else, but we need to stop doing the silly shit. I'm sorry if I upset people, but that's the way I feel like. Like if people are starting to do these silly things to inconvenience Cecil, like swatting and stuff, and it all goes fucking wrong, the person that looks the good guy is going to be Cecil, because he's going to look like the victim, and we're going to look like the baddies. That's not what we want here. So there you basically have it. You've got Cecil that's big into self-defense and protecting yourself and your family and, the right to defend yourself and all the rest of it. And he messed up when it came to defending himself because he put himself in a vulnerable position. I mean, like, who's going to be stupid enough to put boxing gloves on in front of strangers while armed with a gun, and somebody can take that gun because your hands are tied up with boxing gloves? It's just, it boggles my mind, some of the things that Cecil does. It really does. And this is why there's times that I do goof on him. There's something going off in his head at the moment about this prospecting stuff, and some comedic stuff has been coming out, and one of his streams he says that if this all goes right, that he's going to be world renowned, and there's going to be a lot of money made. And well, he didn't specifically say that it was flipping prospecting, but you can sort of put two and two together and stuff. So I don't know what's going on in his mind, but hopefully there's going to be some sort of comedic value in the next couple of weeks. And we'll see you soon. So basically the moral of the story is, if you're going to meet strangers and you're armed to the teeth, Don't put boxing gloves on because you put yourself in a vulnerable position. Goodbye.